I've been trying to decide what to do with my electronics on the tank. If you're new to the channel, I've had most of my equipment under the tank in the cabinet right next to the sump, and it's corroding a lot of that equipment, and some of it is failing due to the moisture. And so I've had a lot of it off the tank for a while, which means a lot of manual maintenance for me, and that's been getting really annoying, topping off, dosing, things like that. And a lot of people told me just put a divider up yourself in the cabinet to block off that sump area. And I could do that, but that saying in the back of my mind just keeps ringing of just don't put electronics under a big box of water. And so I've been keeping my eye on Marketplace, and I found a good deal on a new cabinet that I'm going to mount most of my equipment in. I'm going to pick that up now. And so what I'm going to do is put that cabinet on the upper level of the house and run it along kind of the half wall there. And so I'll mount the equipment in there, and then I'm going to run the cords through the half wall and down to the tank. That will keep a lot of the electronics away from water, but then also it's going to free up that space in the actual tank cabinet for my auto top off container again. So I'm excited to get all that done. I'm going to pick up the cabinet now, and then we'll get this project started. In my head, theoretically, this is going to be a super straightforward process, but I can't tell you how many times I've said that about a reefing project and it ends up taking hours, but there's not much to this, so I'm going to get this moved out of the way. It is on wheels, which is pretty cool. And so I'm going to drill the hole here. I'm thinking an inch, inch and a half. It's going to have to be on both sides of this half wall, and then the same hole in the back of this cabinet. This cabinet is even nicer than I thought when I saw the pictures of it on Facebook. It's real thick quality wood, and so my equipment will mount to it very nicely. I have electric here. Now, it's not GFCI, but it is in line with the GFCI outlet, so that's that'll work for me. And plus, it's just really dry on this side anyway. Normally, I'd just dive right into the project, but I'm trying to take it slow here to minimize the chance of messing this up. And I'm thinking I need to be a little more strategic on where I put the hole, because if I put it too high, it's going to be really annoying trying to get the wires up and then through a hole up here. So maybe I do want to go below that outlet, so it'd be easier to get the wires up and through. Of course, there's some piece of wood here. Why? I have no idea. It doesn't look like a stud. What is that, and why is it there? It doesn't look like a stud to me. So now I'm wondering if this whole half wall, I'm no architect or carpenter here, but I'm wondering if they have a whole sheet of like plywood or something lining this half wall, which isn't the end of the world if they do. But I'm almost wanting to drill another hole next to it to see if that wood is still there, and if so, if there's also wood over here. I think it's a sheet of wood, likely. Yep, another piece of wood. So it's a real thin piece of wood. So there's just a thin sheet of, I don't know, 1/4 inch plywood that's running along this half wall. So no big deal. I did about hit that white wire right there, but luckily we avoided it. So now I need to drill this hole on the other side. Again, trying to avoid that wire, and drilling on that side means we're drilling by the sump. So I gotta be super careful not to get any drywall dust into the sump. And what I think I'm gonna do here is take a long drill bit and drill a hole straight out that way. So that way when I go to the other side, I'll be able to see exactly where that hole is so I can line them up. Probably should have made sure I'm not drilling into any of this equipment. Got lucky there. You can see right there is where my hole's coming out. Luckily it's below the tank, so I'll do the bigger hole around that. Then again, run all my lines directly to the sump from there. Apparently it stopped filming as I was drilling this hole, but as you can see, I successfully got all the way through. You can see up to where the cabinet's going to go. That patch on the wall is where I have a controller mounted that peeled some drywall off, so that'll be easy to patch there. But again, successful. The hole is through. I did not hit that white wire. So now all I have to do is drill the same size hole in the back of that new cabinet, and then we can get everything moved. So I'm probably gonna have equipment here, 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 and here. I'm not sure which equipment's gonna go where. And so what I'll probably do is just do 4 holes in each spot so I can run whatever I need to through and then down to the sump. Obviously with those doors closed, you won't see any of those holes anyway. So that's the next step. Done. So the plan now is to get all of this equipment moved up into the cabinet. That's going to free up this space for my auto top-off tank, which ironically I don't have anymore. The one that came with this tank I turned into a mangrove tank. But luckily I do have that one that I did the DIY gravity ATO with. I just took it offline. And so I'm going to grab that tank. Not sure why I said that. Obviously I drilled a hole in that other tank that I used for the DIY gravity ATO. So anyway, just grabbed another one from Petco that I'm on sale right now. It's like 20 bucks. And then I do actually have a new auto top-off unit here that I picked up from a local reefer. It's an ice cap one that it's been sitting here because I haven't dove into this project yet, but that changes now. We're going to get started on this. The MP40s are connected via this wire from this controller directly up into the dry side. And so obviously that dry side of this controller, neither one of those are going to fit through that small hole I drilled. So I've ran into this problem in the past. What you have to do is take this controller back panel off, you take this cord out, feed it through the hole, and then attach it back together. I'm calling it a night. It's almost midnight. Made really good progress though, and everything is working out really, really well. And so happy about that. I have the majority of the equipment in the new cabinet and almost everything plugged back in. I still have to plug the lights in and the UV, a couple of other things. I actually did run out of room through the hole in the half wall. I had too many wires sticking through there. And so I do need tomorrow, everyone's sleeping tonight, but tomorrow I'll need to drill a second hole just to run 2 or 3 more cords through that hole. And then it should be complete. This project is complete and I'm really happy with the way everything turned out. I have all of my equipment up in this cabinet. You can't see any wires from this viewpoint. It's all safe, dry, and hopefully I won't experience any more corrosion. Opening up the doors, everything is easily accessible. One of the heads went out on my Neptune dose, so I had to put on a couple of these Gen 1 Camor dosing pumps, but they're working just fine. Behind the middle section there is where I have all of my power bricks, and it gets a little messy, but like I said, what you can actually see
looks good, and it's in a much better place from a wire management standpoint than it was under the actual tank. On top, I do have a drawer where I can keep some fragging equipment and some of my Moonshiner's daily dosing, so that works out. And then I have one of those $50 Amazon tablets with the Apex dashboard. Putting all of that equipment in there has freed up the space under the tank for my auto top-off container, so I no longer have to do that by hand or that manually, and that's been really nice. Have a little bit of work to do patching some of these holes and removing some of the sticky stuff from the side of the cabinet there, but again, overall, much better off in this situation than I was with that rat's nest of cords under the tank. And I do have a few more projects coming up, some exciting ones, so make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, hit the bell notification so you know when those next videos are coming out, and we'll see you then.